Hello, my name is Yutaka Watanabe, a tax accountant. Welcome to the channel. Tax Accountant Nabe solves your money problems. Today, I'd like to talk about from what size of company can M&A be done. When you hear word like M&A or corporate acquisition, what kind of image comes to mind? Most people probably imagine the world they see on TV news, where large corporations in huge office buildings in Roppongi with executives in suits move hundreds of billions of yen. But once you learn the fact we are able to explore today, that myth of size will be completely shattered. Yes, the common sense of the business world is now being overturned from its very foundation. So, first, let's start with the urgent question that many of you are probably most curious about. What size does a company actually need to be in order to do M&A? This is very real concern. Many business owners assume things like a small company like ours would never even be taken seriously, or it must be impossible unless we have hundreds of millions of yen in sales. But if that assumption is narrowing your business possibilities, that would be a real waste. So, what is the truth? Let's get straight to the core. Surprisingly, the answer is zero. That's right. There is absolutely no minimum size required to conduct M&A. It is completely zero. In other words, you do not need thick manuals like a large corporation, nor do you need a luxurious boardroom. Just because your company is small does not mean you will be excluded from the M&A market. Isn't that an incredibly hopeful fact for every business owner, regardless of company size? Now that we know there is no lower limit in terms of size, let's look at a completely new landscape, the boom in micro M&A. Now that the old idea that M&A is privilege reserved for a large corporation has collapsed, what exactly is happening in the market? That is what we call micro M&A. Micro M&A refers to ultra small scale business sales and acquisitions that are now becoming extremely active. This is not some rare exception or a special case. It is very real and highly active trend happening right in the middle of today's market. If you are thinking about future business strategy, you absolutely need to understand the term micro M&A. Now, what is really interesting here is this question. What exactly sparked this sudden boom? This biggest trigger was, without question, the spread of matching website. Thanks to advance in technology, online platforms have become easy for ordinary people to use, allowing buyers and sellers to meet more easily and directly than ever before. This power of technology is driving the new wave of micro M&A and rapidly enlarging the market like a wildfire. So, let's take a closer look at what kind of business are riding this wave. There are sole proprietors, small companies with annual sales of only a few million yen, local restaurant with just a few staff members, and even the buying and selling of websites that do not have any physical stores at all. It really is an amazing era. Once you see this, I think you will clearly understand that excuse like our business is too small no longer apply at all. The barrier to M&A has truly dropped dramatically, making it much more accessible. If company size doesn't matter, then what determines success? That brings us to the 3 keys to success. Here, the standard of value has been completely overturned. Today's buyers are not attracted only by the old absurd indicators, such as company size or the scale of sales. Instead, they look at the true substance of the business continuity, unique strengths, and synergy. This is where the difference between success and failure is determined. Step 1. Business continuity. To put it in extreme terms, if you did not go to your shop tomorrow, would the business still operate properly? Whether the business has a system that does not depend too heavily on the owner is an extremely important judgment criterion for buyers. Step 2. Unique strengths. This refers to the special appeal that only your business has and that others cannot easily copy. It could be long-standing relationships with customers, unique know-how, or a brand rooted in the local community. Something that makes people think only that business has this can greatly increase its value. Step 3. Synergy after the transfer. This means the exciting synergistic effect that occurs when the buyer's business and your business come together, where 1 plus 1 becomes 3 or even 4. If these 3 elements are firmly in place, your business can create tremendous value regardless of its size. Finally, there is one question I would like you to ask yourself. What hidden value exists in your small business? Through today's explanation, it should be clear that the apparent barrier called business size no longer exists. Let's stop judging your value only by the size of your company or the amount of sales. Please take another deep look at the business system you have worked so hard to build and the unique strengths that only you possess. Behind your business, which may look small at first glance, there may be an incredible treasure that someone else desperately wants. So, what is the true value of your business? Today, I talk about the topic from what size of company can M&A be done. For more information about small-scale M&A, please visit the website of Yutaka Watanabe, Tax Accountant Office. I will continue sharing content centered on the theme of money, so please subscribe to the channel. Tax Accountant Nabe solves your money problems.